San Francisco is facing a number of issues. The question before voters in November is who's best to fix them.
And we have set aside time all this week here on The Four to ask important questions of the 5 leading candidates for mayor. Today, we are going to sit down with Mark Farrell. He was born and raised in San Francisco, served on the Board of Supervisors for 7 years, representing District 2, which includes the Marina, the Presidio, and Cow Hollow, among other neighborhoods. Farrell also served as interim mayor following the sudden death of Mayor Ed Lee. Farrell says he will draw on that experience to help improve life in the city.
Need a leader that can hit the ground running on day one inside of City Hall. And that's why I'm running for mayor.
And Mark Farrell joins us now live here in studio. Really appreciate you making the trip across the bridge this afternoon, Mark. You argue in that ad and to voters that things were better in San Francisco when you were interim mayor during those 6 months. But is it really fair to compare those 6 months to London Breed's tenure, much of which came amidst a global pandemic?
Look, absolutely. You know, Mayor Breed has a great personal story, but at the end of the day, after 6 years, she has a track record. And the whole world dealt with COVID. You know, cities across the U.S., cities around the world. And right now, San Francisco ranks dead last in economic recovery post-COVID in the United States. That's not a track record of success. It's a track record of failure. And that's why I'm running for mayor, to bring San Francisco back.
And I know one of the things that you are out front on is taking a more aggressive approach when it comes to the homelessness issue on the streets. We know during your time, obviously, your 6 months you spent as mayor, that was a priority for you. You wanted to clear street encampments, and obviously you did remove many of the largest encampments. But isn't it true that you really didn't do anything to reduce the unhoused population ultimately in the city of San Francisco? So I guess the question is clearing encampments from the streets really a solution to the homelessness crisis?
Look, absolutely, but it's not the only solution. It's part of a larger solution set that we need to implement in City Hall in San Francisco, where Mayor Breed has completely failed and not done that at all. Homelessness is now on the rise once again. Tenant encampments have grown in San Francisco once again. And what I did with tenant encampments in 2018 was treat people with compassion and respect. But if they said no to our offer of shelter or housing, we took their tents away, because I believe the sidewalks of San Francisco belong to everybody. They belong to young families, the elderly, not people that just come to San Francisco, choose to pitch a tent, and then think that the city of San Francisco is going to let them be there ad nauseum. That's not the future of San Francisco that I envision.
Mark, one of your opponents, Daniel Lurie, has accused you of wasteful spending on the homelessness crisis and making backroom deals. I want you to take a listen now to an ad outlining those accusations. Again, accusations while you were San Francisco supervisor.
He rubber-stamped hundreds of millions to homeless nonprofits with zero accountability, and orchestrated a pay-to-play scheme that sold out taxpayers to the highest bidder.
Mark, how do you respond to those allegations there of alleged corruption?
I mean, look, that's completely laughable. You know, Daniel Lurie has been the king of nonprofits in San Francisco for over a decade. That's his entire professional career is in the nonprofit sector. So it's absolutely incredible that this guy is going to try and criticize other people. You know, at the end of the day, he's also the guy that funded the Coalition on Homelessness from his own nonprofit. This is the organization that protested in front of my home with brooms when I was clearing out tenant encampments. This is the organization handing out free tents on the streets of San Francisco. And this is the organization that sued the city of San Francisco so we couldn't remove tenant encampments anymore. That is horrific judgment. It's not what we need in San Francisco. We need a bold leader who's going to make a difference on the streets of our city every single day. And again, that's why I'm running for mayor.
Speaking of judgment, I mean, there's a report today from the Chronicle that you failed to disclose a $675,000 loan you received from a family to buy your home. Obviously, this is debt that you know it should be disclosed when you put your financial statements in to run for office, but you didn't disclose it. You say this is an oversight. It feels like a pretty significant, pretty expensive oversight here. Why didn't you report this?
Look, this is part of the nuances of filing these Form 700s with the state. When it was brought to my attention, we corrected it immediately. It's on file now. Yeah, and it was an oversight. Part of seller financing, how we purchased our home a number of years ago, and we stand by that. But it's something I should have corrected at the time, and we did it now.
Mark, I want to move on to something that a lot of people continue to talk about, and that is revitalizing downtown, a sort of lack of vibrancy, a lack of people being down there. And you have outlined a 20-year vision for that area. How realistic is that? And what else do you propose to bring people back to downtown San Francisco?
It's incredibly realistic, but it's only going to happen with a change of leadership in City Hall and the mayor's office. You know, this mayor has continued to have our economy stuck in the mud, and we need to have a change of leadership to do something different. So I believe table stakes are creating public safety and clean streets once again in the downtown core. I believe we need to get aggressive with tax incentives to bring employers and employees back to the downtown area once again. Just like we did in the mid-market area in the 2010s under Mayor Lee's leadership, that neighborhood was improving, small businesses were thriving, we were employing so many people in the city of San Francisco. We need to get back to that. And then long-term, it's the conversion from commercial to residential, but it's thinking outside the box. You know, these Class B and Class C office buildings, let's allow them to demo, massively upzone that part of San Francisco. All of a sudden, we can get these projects penciling today and get people back to work in our trades and build for the future.
And do you still think it's a good idea to allow cars back onto Market Street? I know that's been part of the proposal you've put forward to kind of revitalize the downtown area. A lot of people might look at that and go, that's sort of taking a step backward in a city where you want to focus on public transit and having people walking and biking places.
Yeah, look, I fully believe in our transit first policy. We need better muni. We need more protected bike lanes throughout the city of San Francisco. Specifically on Market, what I propose is bringing rideshare onto Market Street, not Mark Farrell driving his own vehicle, but bringing rideshare vehicles. It's already striped for buses and taxis, and the reality is we don't have that many taxis in San Francisco anymore. We have Uber, we have Lyft, we have the emergence of Waymo. We should get on with the modern era and say, you know what, we're going to increase throughput to the downtown core. We want more visitors, more vibrancy, more traffic. This is just one step in that direction.
All right, we're going to continue the conversation here with Mark Farrell, one of the candidates running for mayor in San Francisco. Much more to talk about here, including his proposal to add more police officers to the city and why he believes the police department needs new leadership. That's coming up.